On the 7th of June, we left Borroloola. We took a little detour just after the turn off to Carraburini Conservation Reserve and then turned back and went up the road that goes into Limmen National Park, and then took the turn off to Lorella Springs, where we spent 2 nights, and then came back along that road and through Limmen National Park, where we stayed at Butterfly Falls for 2 nights. Campsite here at Borroloola is really nice. It cost us $40 for a powered site for the night, and we were right next to the pool, so that was really good yesterday afternoon. It wasn't super freezing like the other pools we've been in the last few days. Ryan's just getting everything packed up, and there's just something about mornings in the Territory. They have a special smell. I can't describe what it is. Probably dirt, I don't know. But when I woke up this morning, I realised that I'd really missed it since we left 6.5 years ago, because this is the first time I've been back. Yeah, just really love it. Filled up with fuel like we usually do before we leave town, if we can. And the other thing we usually do is go in and get a chocolate and an iced coffee, and it's NT iced coffee, so we're really happy about that this morning because we think that's the best iced coffee. It is. So that's what we'll be drinking for the next couple of weeks while we're in the NT.
We'll be getting some and freezing it as well.
Yes, because we have space in our freezer. Just pulled off on the side of the road to put some air back in the tyres with the compressor. Yesterday, what do you have them sitting at on the corrugations?
We started off at 35, and that was on the Queensland side of the road because it was just gravel and wasn't too bad. But then sort of, I don't know, 90 k's in, we changed them, put them down to 32, and then we're breezing over the corrugations. They weren't that bad of corrugations yet, but I can see it can get a fair bit worse. But also, we were only doing about, I think maximum speed would have been like 80-ish, and then
over the bad bits, some of the softer sand bits, you're doing 100.
Yeah, but it was fine. There wasn't really any super bad areas, but some areas we did slow down to 40 and 60.
Yeah,
it wasn't too bad, but we were expecting a lot worse. But apparently the grader had been through on the Queensland side only recently, and the NT side they said at the start of the drive, but it didn't look like it had been done.
Yeah, it was pretty bumpy, but it's really hard to know how long it's going to take you to drive that section of road. We were expecting it to be 6 hours. I think I said that yesterday, and we did it in 4.5. So I think it really depends on your confidence as a driver, if you've driven on that kind of stuff before, what you're towing. Yeah,
I think a lot of it is what you're towing. There were a lot of big caravans that we saw at Hell's Gate, and we went there, we had lunch, sat around for about an hour, and it took them that amount of time behind us to get to Hell's Gate, and it was only a real little bit of dirt road. So they were probably sitting on like 60 k's an hour or something the whole way, which means over the dirt it would have been, like over the corrugations, they would have been going even slower.
Yeah, I think the best thing to do if you're trying to gauge how long it's going to take you is ask people, lots of people, what the road was like and how long it took them, and you can kind of get an estimate from there.
Yeah, and be nice when you ask them how they're going to start off with.
Not like people asked Ryan yesterday.
Yeah.
The purpose of me getting out the camera now actually was to say that it only took us 7 minutes to put air in all the tyres, which is pretty good. Hugo's asleep in the car, so we just left him there. It would have taken a lot longer if he was out running around.
Yeah, it was just with a King's like dual chamber tyre compressor, and my dad's had 2 of them. The first one it just decided to die one day, and he went to go get an ARB one, and then realised how much they were, so just bought another King's. But he had that, and he did a lap of Australia.
Yeah, in about
and used it a lot because he's big on his tyre pressures. But yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good to have and just be able to stop when you do it. The reason we did it now is we're seeing a lot more bitumen today than we expected, and they were just sitting a little bit too low for proper road driving.
Yeah.
And we really don't want to pay another $300 for a new tyre if we can avoid it.
Yeah. One thing I do recommend for the tyre compressor is digital gauge on it, so you don't have to take it off and check, and because I find those analog ones that come with it are pretty bad. And I got a calibrated one from my dad, so it's pretty good.
We're in Karanbarini Conservation Reserve, just taking the short little walks through the lost city. There are so many flies, but we're just not even a K in, I think, half a K. So I think we walk around the outside and then back through the middle. Hugo's getting peeved at the flies, as are we. I've swallowed one already, but at least sometimes the wind picks up and that helps a little bit. Hugo can't walk and swat flies, so he's having a shoulder ride. Such a beautiful spot. Highly recommend to stop here. Little break from flies.
Come on, keep it going. Which way?
Straight. Looks like there's a path that way. I don't know.
Yep, dead end.
Yeah, you go that way. Good boy. That's it. Oh my god, there's flies on the camera lens.
I don't know if I'm keen to go up and do it.
Not into a mysterious cave. Here.
Is it still recording?
Yep. No, you don't need to go into a little cave like that. Yeah. This is a little waterhole. There's some ducks. The lilies look so pretty. There's a lot of birds. You can hear a lot. We're at the top of the lookout. Still a lot of flies. The sign said it was 300 metres, but my watch is closer to 600. But it is worth it. So that's where we were before, walking through the middle of there. And you're really just looking out to big plains of trees, which is really nice. About to go into Lemon National Park on our way to Lorella Springs. Just had to pull off to get a photo. Hugo's asleep as usual. had to stop because our brand new $335 tyre has a puncture. Hopefully this one's small enough that we can fix it and keep going and not have to change it. Luckily we've got the tyre pressure monitor on, and Ryan just noticed that it was dropping, so that's why we pulled over to see what's going on. Proper flat now, but patched. And of note, when I got out of the car to help Ryan, I noticed there's some dog prints heading up the road. And yesterday we actually saw a wild dingo, which I was really excited about because I've never seen a wild dingo apart from on Fraser, so that was interesting. We're at the hot springs at Borroloola Springs. Just come down for a bath.
Hugo's just
after
making
we set
friends.
off. Yeah, Hugo's waving at people. This is the springs just down from reception. It's really nice. It's huge. Perfect temperature. Our first day exploring Borroloola Springs, and we've come to Nanny's Retreat, which is a little gorge. I'm going to have a look and see if we might swim, but this is the walk in.
You can pretty much follow the water all the way up through there. I walked along the edge, and the other side's just as nice, if not nicer. Just a bit hard to get a camera. Might need to start bringing the laundry bucket and the drone places.
You have a wet bag.
Or the wet bag.
So we're just under the camper trailer sorting out the suspension, and Hugo's just decided to join.
Hang on. Just be
And help
clear.
out.
We're doing preventative checks on the suspension.
Oh, did I say fix?
Yeah.
Oh, we're not fixing anything.
No, we're
We're just checking it.
Yep.
I'm covered in dirt. I don't like dirt, but we're gonna go for a swim in the hot springs again soon. Well, sorting out the toilets, all part of camping. You're helping Daddy. Starting off the morning in another hot spring. This is Nudie Hot Springs on Borroloola Springs Wilderness Park. And we have already packed up for the morning. We just thought we'd come for a little drive and a swim before we head off to Limon National Park today. On a little walk through the southern Lost City in Limon National Park. It's about 2.5 k's, I think. We were going to stay here the night, but when we got online yesterday to book a campsite, it said tents only, so we're just going to do the short walk here and then 2 nights at Butterfly Falls instead. really stunning. Hard to capture it. Hello up there.
It's just as nice out there.
Oh, it is too. About halfway through this walk, and there's really nice cliffs over in the distance with similar kind of formation as what we've just walked through. Probably doesn't look as good on video as what it does. Having a look.
I get why they say beware crumbling. It's like dropped away just there.
Oh really?
Yeah, like sheer cut.
Oh yeah. Almost at the end of the walk now. We set up camp at Butterfly Falls, sat around for a bit, did our washing, finished our washing I should say, we got it sorted before we drove today. We've just come down to have a look and possibly a swim at Butterfly Falls, but it's already gone dry. So that's where the falls usually is. But the water's just a little bit dark and green. And there's some things jumping. We don't really know what's in there, so we're not going to have a swim. Not today at least. See how it looks tomorrow in the sunlight maybe. I don't think we'll be swimming here. So we've spent the day pretty much just chilling while Hugo had a nap. We did another video of our map to do for our next upload. We finished off the washing. Ryan spent the day, what have you done? Chasing the sun with a solar panel basically, trying to optimize the charge for the batteries. And it was going pretty well until Hugo just decided to face plant a rock, and he's actually put his tooth straight through his lip. So there's a big gash on the inside and the outside where it's literally gone clean through. So he's probably just cried for 20 minutes. Well, we've tried to do our best to give him stuff to help it, but every time we put the ice pack near him now, he starts crying again. So he's had some Nurofen and some juice, and yeah, we'll just wait and see how much of a big fat lip he has tomorrow.
Just chewing on that.
He's chewing on stuff, so it must be okay. I don't think it needs stitches, which is good because we are nowhere near anywhere that can do stitches. So that's probably, I mean, he's been headbutting himself pretty much on a twice daily basis. He's got bruises and scratches and everything everywhere, but that's the first real injury we've had this trip, I think. Be good if it was the last, but considering we're only a third of the way through, I don't like our chances. Flies are not as bad as the other day, but still annoying. Ryan has added fly nets to the shopping list, so that'll be a new, what's the word? Gone. It'll be a new addition to our videos will be fly nets. So there's some really good views of the cliffs where the falls come down, which is behind me, but the best place to actually see them is from the ramp where the toilet is, because you can see above the trees. I just wanted to get a shot of that as the sun sets, so that's our camp just there. The falls are in between there. And it's really just like it ends at the end of those trees. And then back this way, it goes down around there. It's a good campsite, pretty well spaced out, drop toilets, and we've got our own little fireplace, enough room for the van and the car. It's been good, everyone here's been pretty friendly, so been having a chat to everybody. Just got to book online with NT Parks, so some people have had issues with people not booking and parking in their site. But not us, because we booked and got here relatively early on a Thursday. I reckon on the weekend it'd be pretty painful. Ryan's got the fire going because he's about to put a roast on. Oh, there's a little peak of the cliffs over there. Thought I'd just do a little video of the rocks changing colour with the sunset. Oh, it's a little hard to see with the DJI. They're very orange now, and they looked a bit whiter before.